Right, in this video I'm going to start the reassembly process. Some parts have arrived and some haven't. I'm still waiting for the piston rings and the shells, but I've got a gasket set, so I'm going to replace this timing cover, giving it a bit of a birthday. I've still got to get the rest of the paint off it and whatever, but we shall get that back on. Nice new gasket, etc, etc. And as we go through, we'll be putting the piston rings on, new shells, sticking the pistons back in, bolting it all up. I've also got new oil seal for the gearbox, new release bearing, bits and bobs. I shall be getting that outside and giving it a bloody good water blast off because it's a bit manky before I put the engine back on. But then I can get the engine on and probably get it running before I get any further with the rest of the tractor. But that's what we're going to try and achieve in it. So here is our gasket set. Again, spare X, head gasket. Well, it's a full engine gasket set, sump, everything, the whole shebang. So in here somewhere should be a timing cover gasket, which you have to sort of pick apart from the other one. It's like a puzzle. Get that out. Where is it? That one there. So there it is, right there, and that's got the timing cover gasket, the oil filter gasket, water pump gasket, and some other bits and bobs all in that same, on that one sheet. I'm carefully going to get that off without ripping it. Like that, and then get the middly bit out. And there's that. So I'll put some jointing paste on it. I think I've got some in the, I should have some in my box there somewhere. Goes on like that. So I'll find that and we'll chuck a little bit on there just to make a better seal. Now, have I got any open? I have, but it's gone off. Trouble is with this stuff, it bloody goes off in the nozzle because the lids fell off. But if you just rip it, rather than throwing it away, I'll just do that, and that way I can just dob a little bit round. Don't want to put it on too thick because it will end up all just squishing out and going through the oil. Right. Now put them on. I've already cleaned up all the bolts as well, so they're all nice and shiny and briny as well now. And I'll just put a little bit around here as well, I think. was looking at a post that someone put on one of the forums about the Fergie factory way back in the day. It's the assembly line, because I was wondering whether the tractor was completely grey or whether they assembled it and then put on the ancillaries like a starter motor and alternator, etc, etc. But it looks like, looking at the video, which was pretty good, they assemble them and they're all kind of just in primer, and then they just smack them with paint. So I'm probably going to do that with this one, rather than, I will paint some bits off just so they get a good coverage, but yeah, I might try and emulate how they used to do it, rather than having the last one I had the sump nice and aluminium still because it looked really nice, and I had the oil filter housing aluminium and bits and bobs. I had the starter motor black and everything, but yeah, I'll try and do it exactly how they did it. Try and stay true to form, so to speak. Yeah. Make sure that's in the right place, and then just give me a little donk on, and that's that. So I'll just get my gaskets out of the way. I'll lose the rest of those, and I'll stick my bolts in. Some of these have nuts on the back, and some were just bolts. So there's quite a few different ones with different length threads on. So the coarse thread would go into the block, so that would go in there more than likely, because it goes through the back plate and into the block, and all of the block threads are UNC, and some of them are short as well, so there's some short buggers and some long buggers. Just got to remember which way they go. Because you don't want to go through, I'd say that would be a short one, because that goes straight through, actually goes right the way through there. And I would say that would be the long one. And some of them had nuts on as well, so they go through that plate. That's a long bugger. Where'd that go? There, I reckon, because that goes straight through there. So as I'm tightening up these, I don't want to break anything, so I'll just be careful as I'm putting them in. There's another real long bugger. One more of those long ones. That's that one, and that's that one. There's nuts on. I'll get all these in and we'll come back when I'm tightening them up. So that's the timing cover back on. I'm just going to stick on the front pulley. Now I'm just going to put a bit of lube just where the oil seal is going to run. And a little bit inside there where it was a bit rusty before, it was hard to get off. So just key away on there. What's that? That is there. Yeah. Well, I might just go and give this bolt a bit of a clean up with a rotary wire brush before it goes back on. because it don't look very pretty. So if I do that quickly, then that can go back on. I don't know what the torque setting of this is, but I should imagine it needs to be FT. So I'll just rattle it up, same way we got it off. Make sure there. Make sure that tab washer locates in the keyway, like there. Is it there? Right there. Find my larger socket, which is just here. So that'll do. And then I'll use one of the tabs that was not used, so it's not a new tab washer, the old one is a bit buggered, so I'll bend one of the other ones over instead. Whichever one I can get to. Where's a screen unit? Right, that one there. Like that, and that's that bit back on. Nice. Cool. I may put on some other bits, I don't know, I might clean this block first. So I might put a bit of some rags over these holes and just give this a rotary wire brush while I can get to everything. Yeah, give this a good old clean off. At least it'll be ready for painting. And then I can refit the oil filter housing and the oil filler once I've given them a clean up as well. And everything else and everything else. It's looking smashing now. A lot better than it was anyway. Yeah, what we've got on these shelves is just standstill marks where it's been sitting for so long. You can see just marks on there, but nothing nasty, no high spots or anything. But I have got some 600 grit emery cloth, so I might just give them a little rattle around with that, just very, very gently. Just to get rid of them standstill marks. That looks good in the hood. There's nothing sinister on it, just a little bit. So say that'll do. Did you know? That's just as well I did get that casing, because nearly threw me for a minute. That right there is different. So this housing this housing goes on the head, on the cylinder head, not on the block. So this has got a different, for some reason, it's got a different waterway there on the block. I'll zoom out and show you, because that is different to all the other tractors I've got. So that does not exist on the other tractors. So I should imagine I've just got to blank that off with a plate, because it's going to do nothing. Yeah, it's really weird. Really weird. I don't know why that's got that and all the others haven't got it. That's just a blank on the casting. Very strange indeed. But I did find a plate when I was looking at it, when I was going through the box of bits and bobs that came with this one, and there is a plate that will probably go on there, because there's a plate that goes on the back of the cylinder head, and they must have made one to go up on there. So I'm wondering what this block is from, whether it's the original block from this tractor or whether it's out of something else, I don't know. Anyway, that needs to be blanked off, so I shall blank that off. So on further investigation, the tractor I accidentally bought from TRC over there has got exactly the same as this. So the water pump bolts onto here and not onto the cylinder head. So the cylinder head's got no waterways up the top on that one, and it hasn't got the waterway at the rear of the cylinder head either. So I'm thinking this is a mismatch. So someone has put that in there and blanked that bolt hole off, and they've got a cylinder head off of a different tractor. So off of probably a later tractor, the 52, which I've got over there. It's got the newer, well, that's this same cylinder head with the waterway here at the top. So I found these plates. So someone's made this plate, which fits on there, so that can go on there with a gasket. There's a plate for the rear of the cylinder head which is buggered, so I should have to remake that one there, because it's got a big hole in it. But yeah, that's strange. This is a weird tractor. Very, very strange indeed. Well, so there you go. I've just found that plate, and that's must have been what the guy fabricated it for. And the same box the plate was in was two short bolts. So they're now in here. That's blanked off, and I've got the water pump from the other one that will go on that head just there. Mystery solved, isn't it? Mystery solved. So now we can get our rotary wire brush out, start getting this side done, and then we'll flip it over to the other side. Then I can stick some more bits and bobs on. We'll be another step closer to getting it back in the tractor. So the other day when I was playing with this and I turned the engine up the other way, I could see down the bores a little bit better, and the side I was looking at looked really nice, but the other side, even after I've honed it, has got a bit of a nasty mark in them, and it's on each one, and it must have been like a standstill mark from where it's been standing for like God knows how long, and it's like just rust has built up around there. So I thought, bugger it, and I looked on SpareX website and I found liners, and I thought they was going to be ridiculously priced, but actually it was really, really cheap. I think $78 plus GST each for nice new liners. So I've already got new rings which I was going to put in, so might as well go to whole hog and get nice shiny new liners. So there's they are. They come pretty well packaged as well. So I've got 4 of those, and because I've got new liners, I thought I'd better make myself a tool to get it out. So I've done one. I did it yesterday. Got a bit excited, and yeah, just to try out my tool. So basically, it's just a lump of old crap steel I'd lying about. Put it in a 4-jaw chuck and machined it down, and now I've got a puller, bit of 12mm stud, and another bit of plate. and I can pull the liners out. So as I said, I've tried the tool and it works really, really well. I thought it was going to be a bit of a bugger to pull out, but they came out absolute piece of wee-wee. Basically that goes down inside there, hooks onto the bottom of the liner. I've got a big bit of plate and then I've got a big old, where is it? There it is. Big old lump of steel that I had from when I used to make motorised wheelbarrows. And I used to put the hubs in there and machine them up. But now that is the perfect size, funny enough, to go over the top of the on the cylinder block to pull the liner out from. That bit goes on top there like that, and then Bob's your uncle, isn't it? Also, while I think of it, I also bought some more bits. So I got a new spigot bearing, which the other one on there is C solid. So I've got one of them. I've got a new thrust release bearing as well, because that one's grotty as. And set of big end shells. And while I'm in here this time, I'm going to put a new oil seal in the snout of the gearbox, because it looks like it's been leaking. I've got to get that up on the forklift, take it outside, degrease it, water blast it, then I can pull that apart. But today, pretty much just going to be pulling out the rest of these liners to get that outside, give that a bloody good clean, and then pop in the new liners, see how we go with that. So I've never done it before, but how hard can it be? I don't know. Soon find out, won't I? I'm just going to wrap some rags around these journals, just so they don't get all crap down them, just to cover up the oil way. So I'm going to give it a blast off anyway after, but better be safe than sorry, innit? And I'll show you one of these liners. The reason I've decided to change them, this is the, I think it's one that was really, really bad, and it's number 3. It was absolutely poked on one side. So when I get it out, I can show you. Also, this will protect the journals from if I hit it with me rod accidentally when I'm putting it in. I don't want to put any dents and dings in it, so this will help with that as well. Let's get that round there like that. You can't tie knots, tie lots, no. That's that. Right, hopefully I can still turn the crank round, but we'll get number 2 out. Get my gizmo. Slurp a tea first, I think. You need about 3 hands to do this, so I think. Now, is it easier to go through there like that? Like that. Yes, it is. That's in. If I turn that round now, that might hold that down. Oh, it does too. So I've pushed the crank against the bottom of my gizmo. That's going to hold everything in place on the bottom, and I can turn my engine wibbler around like that, and it stays in place. Fantabulous. On top like that. These lumps of plate, I bought a piece of kit over there. It's like a swaging tool, and this I think was extensions for the feet. I got 4 of them, and I've been using them for all sorts of stuff. They're nice and grunty, so not going really like that. I'm surprised how little force it needs to get these out as well. they just pretty much fall out. I thought it was going to be a real prick of a job, but it's actually quite easy. And that is loose as a goose now, so I can get rid of this bit. With that, get rid of that bit, and then get rid of this bit. I just need a little bit more, I reckon. I might need a little bit more. I'll give it a bit more of a pull. But I think I ran out of thread on me, or length in my socket. But it certainly does make life easy. My brother said when he used to do this when he was an apprentice back in the UK, worked for Wiggins, and they used to service a lot of little Lister diesels and stuff, and they was all wet liners or had liners. So they used to go out to a site and they'd change liners on site to get machines going, and they used to just drive them out with not just smack them out sort of thing. What size is that? That is that 19, I think. I've done and found it. I might have to modify my thingy. I put a square on top of it to hold it because it's trying to spin, but that's all good. I might be able to weld the bolt to the bottom because I think I can get this in from underneath anyway because it's nice and thin. I do believe we're there. You see all the crap that just come out of there, so I'll just show you in a second on the floor all the rust and crap that's coming out. So this is definitely worth doing, I think. I know the tractor's never going to see hard service again, but it wouldn't do its cooling any good, would it, I suppose? That off. Get rid of that again. Oh, blimey. The crud on the side of there. Look at that. Anyway, I'll get the rest of these out, then I'll show you the shit on the floor afterwards, which is going to be quite a lot. So this is number 3. This is the reason I decided to put new liners in. I didn't see that from the other side. Horrible, isn't it? So it's quite pitted inside there. The other side's alright, but there, which I didn't see, and now I have, so bugger it, we've got new ones, isn't it? The other good thing about this bit of tooling it cost me about nothing because I had the stuff laying about. Again, I'm lucky I've got a lathe. Not everybody has, but you make your own luck, don't you? I bought a lathe. That's how lucky I am. It's so much crud, so much crud. It's unbelievable. Get this last one out, and then we can go outside and give it a good blast off. Don't drop your nuts. In the middle like that. And that is all those little fellas free, which is nice. Get rid of him malarkey. Thingo. And that's that. Now I'll show you the crap that came out on the floor. There's a little bit of it, and if I get down inside here, hopefully, I'll show you inside the floor. So in the block. So, very grotty. So I'll scrape all that out, and then I'll give it a water blast and degrease and whatever. And then, once it's all shite and nice and clean and shiny, shite and cleany, I can put in the new gaskets and see how the new liners fit. I think there is I'll have to Google, I think there's they have to be a certain height. I've got some big washers to kind of hold them in. But I should imagine when you pull the cylinder head down, it'll bed them into the washers anyway, because I think it's a aluminium washer, like a soft washer that it comes with. Anyway, we'll come to that in a minute. So I've just given that a bloody good clean inside. Got rid of all the rust and crap. Still got a couple of little bits to do on the base down there, just to get the couple bits off. I'll try the gaskets in, see if they fit. But yeah, just a couple of little bits of rust on there to get rid of. And then we can put our liners in, hopefully, properly. So I've got our gaskets here. I might measure them just to see how thick they are. I don't know if you can get different ones or not, but yeah, it might be worth measuring them, I suppose. I might just do a test fit with one of these. They're about a thou. Those shims. That little fella goes in there like that. So that's nice and firm down on there. What I might do, I can feel it sticking up this little tiny bit, so that's probably good because that gives it something to squish onto. Now how can we measure that? And I suppose you've got to get it even. Feels pretty good. I shall find a straight edge and some feeler gauges, I reckon. So doing it this way, I don't know if this is how you're supposed to do it, but this is how I'm going to try and do it. What we got? We've got 2.2 thou, 2 thou, 2.5 thou, and then 1.5. So that's 2 thou. That fits under there nice. And what's that one there? 0.25. That's 2.5. So I've got 0.25 thou, 2.5 thou, sorry. Ish, maybe 2 thou. Yeah, about 2 thou. So that's sticking up a little bit, which is good, I believe. So I reckon, pound or a pinch of shit, they should all be the same by the time I chuck them all in. So I'll say that's good in the hood. So I shall pull it out. I shall put some sealant on the bottom of them rings. And word on the street is this one here. I think I saw it on Bundy Bear. Very, very clever bloke. So I've got some of that. But we'll see how we go. I'll pull this liner back out. Let's get a nice larrapin of this knot on here. A bit more. Lovely colour, isn't it? And that was got that one. I'll stick him in like that. Right. We'll just do it 2 at a time. Make it easier. I've got myself some big fat washers to chuck on there and some bolts just to hold them in place so they don't fall out. I also got new piston rings as well, so I'm going to clean the pistons up, put them in the parts washer, and then put those rings on. And hopefully today I can get this block back together pretty much, and then concentrate on the gearbox of the tractor, getting that clean, and get new seals in the old bugger, innit? So I'll just get some more gear. I'm going to find some. Probably going to use some copper slip on the bottom and then liners just to stop them rust into the cylinder, to the block. So I'm going to find some copper slip as well. I can't find my copper slip, so I guess grease will have to do then, won't it? So I'll just put a little bit of grease on the bottom. Just a real thin smear I've put on there, just a little bit, eh? Now, let's see if that goes in again. And there she blows. One. When I get the next one, I'll try and get these gaps right in the side there, down here. But I have to unpack another lovely liner. I'm thinking when you pull the cylinder head down, that'll bring them down nice and level. So they come really well packaged. They come in a cardboard box, then in a bag to keep it dry, and then wax paper to keep the moisture out. Pretty lovely, isn't they? Very pretty. Well, a lot of work goes in them for $78, I should imagine, really. Nice thin bit of grease on that one as well. I don't really want it on the surface where it's going to go onto the sealant, do I? Or is it the one going down all the way? Let's put it back in. Or I'll just dunk it down with a nice soft out. That's it. Very nice. Right, now I'll get the next one ready. So next little fella. I do like new things, I really do. Shiny. I suppose I better check the piston rings are gapped, but I don't know whether they come pre-done or not. I'm assuming they are. Most stuff nowadays is not like back in the day when you had to bloody put them in the bore and then file a bit off and muck around. I wonder where they get all this stuff made. Got to be China, isn't it? To be so cheap, must be. Last but by no means leasted, now I shall find me bolts and my big fat washers, and I should just pop them on there just to hold them in so they don't fall out. I don't think they will fall out, and I suppose it'll just get them down level a little bit. So I shall find me nuts, washers, bolts even. So I bought some bolts, 7/16 UNC, that I can just keep using for these. I might have to put some big washers on there as well, because I could only get 16mm washers and I only really wanted I think it's 12mm, but I'll see if I can find some more washers to put on there. The cylinder head ones should probably do it. I'll nick them and chuck them on. If we can find it, they're on here somewhere. Everything's on here somewhere. Should we take this blank bench up today? My everything bench box thing. So let's put those on there. I don't know how necessary this is. I don't think they're going to fall out, but better safe than sorry, I suppose, when I've got it upside down, putting end caps on and bits and bobs. Make sure I leave them far enough away so I can get the pistons in, eh? Do what you do. It's actually quite therapeutic, this. Now I know I can get the liners anyway. I'll because I found another motor out of the forklift for my other tractor, but because the pistons are generally mint as, because the rings get most of the wear and the bores, so I should imagine that the pistons in the other one may be the same as this. I don't know. That was running, but it just pees oil out everywhere, which is not really the best, eh? Where's the other washer? That's another one here under the government. I think that might be the other one. It is. That is. But I will just quickly find the drill, because I've got to drill out one of these. They're too small, so I'll go and do that quick. Right, I've got all them just pinched down a little bit, just to hold them in place. Now I shall get me pistons ready. I'm going to give them a very good clean and stick the rings on, and hopefully we don't break any of the buggers, but we'll see how we go, isn't it? So I'm just going to pull these old rings out. I've got one out and there was a bit of the old one stuck in here, but what I shall do is I'll go around that with a bit of broken ring and just clean it. Let's get the rest of these out first. Hopefully they'll come out in one bit. So oil ring. Fiddly buggers, aren't they? Here's our bottom one. Got a bit of a blast off, I think, with me airline. Where is it? On the hook there. Right, now I shall go and get my little ring sets. Oh, let's clean that first, shall we? So there was a bit of broken ring on the floor. Let me grab that. There it is. Pretty clean, actually. Pretty clean one. I think I'll take the rest of them off first, shall I? It's probably not a bad idea. I think what happened with these rings is the piston had, or the top ring had just touched the it must have touched the lip on the top of the bore, and that's what shattered them, because they was just all in bits. That one out. Relatively clean, to be fair, so one. Actually looking good nick, these rings, to be fair, but in for a penny, in for a pound, isn't it? They've got nice shiny new bores. I'm not going to not change them. Just a little crap in there, that's right. Come on, you little bastard. That's that, all de-ringified. Yeah, let's go with them. Number one. Give that a blast off. Nice. Right, I'm going to go for my packets of rings, which is just over here. Come in a nice little box, all wrapped up, and then look at that. Tells you where they go. I'm going to start with the bottom one, I think, see if that fits, see how lucky we are, because For some reason there's 5 and we haven't got 5. What I will do, I'll just try this in the bore quickly. Make sure you haven't got a gap in it. Perfect, 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 right. Make sure it fits in the slot, yes it does. So first one in, and it fits. So I want top oil ring, make sure it fits. Yes it does, and that's before I put all this actually on in the bore, I shall lube this up with a bit of me stuff. Now, number 3. Fits like a glove. Took off my glove with it, didn't it? I can't have that. That's him. And hopefully that'll be, well, let's try the top ring. Well, assuming they're the same anyway. Let's just measure it for it, I think. $760. $755. $760. All right, we'll put that at the top. One down, 3 to go. I'll come back when I've done them all. Well, just to explain what I'm doing as well while we're doing the last couple of pistons. Just double check that one. 760, and that there is. $750. I think they're the same, but anyway, make sure I've got the top on the top. They've got a little mark on the thing there, it says top, you can see that. And I don't know if there's a right and wrong way, but what I do is start with the back of the ring and then feed it round and just wiggle it down like that, and there we go, another one done. I'm just sitting these down inside the bores, just letting them sit. That one there is number 2. Woohoo! People have probably got their own ways of doing this, but that's how I'm doing it, innit? That is number 4, that'd be number 3. Might as well keep in order, eh? Keeping that nice and clean there. I think we've ended up with an absolute ton of boxes, haven't I? Never mind. Tons and tons. Much easier without my rubber gloves on, that's for sure. Although them gloves do keep your hands all nice and clean. And they're bloody strong airs. Normally you go through tons of them neoprene or they're nitrile gloves. But these ones I've got here, got them from a place in Fielding just down the road from me. They last all day. You can actually take them off and put them on again. They're pretty bomber, which is very nice. I'm ending up with a load of spare rings, which is good because they came in a pack of 5, but I've only got 4, so I think the newer pistons must have 5 rings. Number 3. I love the way they've made it idiot proof as well, because they are all different sizes, or the bottom ring and the top oil ring are different sizes. So they've made it idiot proof. So even I can do it, which is nice. Give that one a little blow off, I've got to do that. Marvellous. There we go, done and done. Lovely. Next thing I do, I shall get the bearing caps and whatever, and I shall get these old shells out, like that. I shall put my nice shiny new ones in, and then we can reassemble this bottom end, which would be nice, isn't it? So I've got the shells, these are the new shells. And again, there's a standard. Got my gloves on again because I don't want to get my fingers all over them because it's white metal, and apparently the acid in your fingers can get in there, so we'll be careful. So we'll have a little bit of our, oops, not that much, it's quite a lot, isn't it? Better do more with that, I think. Like that. It's our caps, and we'll just chuck these in. And they can only go in one way. You've got a little notch there. Make sure that's nice and home. at another one. That is all the caps done. Now I'll get the pistons out, do them one at a time. Then I'll get my piston ring compressor and one go. Where's that piston's one there? Look, I'll do that one first, mightn't I? Number 4, a bit of that. Keep this all in order, it'd be easy, wouldn't it, if I put it in. Only reason I'm putting that on there is just it makes it easier for the next person whoever goes in there, whenever it may be. Hello, ding dong, Avon calling. So the shells that come out weren't terrible, but I thought one of them had a little bit of funny marks on it where it had been sitting, so I thought we might as well change them. And that is that. So next job is we'll get some lube in the bores and get my little piston ring compressor, and we'll get those in. So I've just got a nice little bit of our lube on there, give it a nice old lube up, and on the shell. Then we'll get our little gadget. These are pretty cool, these things, just wind it up. Make sure it goes on square. Don't want to go too tight, otherwise I won't be able to turn the piston. Maybe one more, 2 more. So that'll probably do me, that's nice and tight. There. And then the next thing is slip the little bugger in. But I'll do that in a second, I've just got to go and double check something, and then I'll come back. Right, so we're going to get this first one in. I've just whacked a load of my my oil down there, down this first bore. And we'll see if this little fella's going to go in nice. So again, the slot goes towards the distributor side. Hopefully that fits in there, it does, look at that. Let's get a tapometer. Where is my tapometer? That'll do. I'm just going to gently donk it in with a right. That's nearly in now. I'm going to just flip it up the other way, and I shall line up the conrod with the crank. Now, if I go this way, like that. It's a bit turned. That's all right though. Get there. That's him. You can't see, so I should move the thing round. One way. Just move this camera around, sorry. There we go. Now, really important is to put the right cap on the right piston, because when these are made they're normally assembled like bored through when they're assembled. Number one, where is it? Number 3. That'll be it there. And it goes on one way, so these two little pegs go together. I was going to get the bolts. What do I do with bolts over here? Just had them in the parts washer, so I'm just going to put the glass. Now I haven't put new the retaining clips. I haven't put any new ones on these. They only had one side, so I'll just use the other side on each one, and that save a bit of money. We'll get them in, and we'll just nip that one up before I start on the other, so don't sop around and damage the bearing. I can do it very, very gently with rattle gun. What size is that? 9/16. Just that one right there. I won't torque them up yet. I'll do that in a while, but just to get it so as it's not going to slop around. What I will do though is we'll give it a revolution, see how. It does feel absolutely lovely. It does. Right. I suppose I better do the next one, ain't I? So flick it over. This is lucky last, so I might as well show you, mightn't I? And that's it. And that thing is bloody brilliant. That's the best one I've found that I've used. Piston ring compressor. Cheapest chips from Repco it was, but my god, it works well. We'll give it clean now, finish with it, put it back in this drawer where it lives. with that. Right. Now I'll flip him over again. Then we'll find that rod. And it go on it like that. Turn it a bit more so as we can get that. Oh, moved everything, didn't I? Don't really want to be doing that. There we go. Right. Bit of lube on there. Right there. Lucky last cap. And then we'll talk them up. I think it's 50 something pound per foot, something like that. Something like that, governor. Just get them started. Right. It's looking very nice in there, very nice indeed. What the plan is for this is I'm going to get all this bottom end done, get the sump back on it, because the sump's cleaned. I've just got to give it a go over it with a wire brush, rotary wire brush, whack the gasket on, put the sump on, then I shall move over to the gearbox there. I want to get that oil seal done, then I can make this back together. Once that oil seal's done and the clutch is all back together, obviously I'm going to water blast that thing first. I'm not going to do it with the engine on, but yeah, as soon as I've got this ready to go on, I'll paint everything together, because looking at the somebody put on one of the Fergie enthusiast sites on Facebook the factory, and the factory showed the tractors sort of going out all kind of like in primer, put together, and then they must paint them with everything on it apart from the mud guards, and then whack the mud guards and the wheels on. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. I think so it'll look as close to being original as we can get it, and hopefully it'll make someone a lovely little tractor. Another one back to life, eh? That's what we like. So I'm going to go and get my torque wrench and torque these buggers up. Right, I've got my torque wrench set on 55 because it's 50 to 55, and we go 55. Right, to that position, I might as well get this one done as well, eh? That's two down, two go. Let's turn him round. It's about there. Now I've just got to bend over those tabs, and that bit is diddled. that is torqued, and always take the tension off the torque wrench, otherwise you'll bugger it before you put it away, like that. In it. Right, next thing is I'll just bend them tabs over there. So I should find a tab bender over, it should be these. I'll give them a tap with the hammer as well in a minute. Perfect. Right, that's that done. Next thing I'll do is I shall clean the bottom of this off a little bit, get rid of any crap, and we'll get the sump back on. Then I can fit, I don't know if I'll bother fitting these yet. I might don't have to paint it first, mask this up and paint that, or put them on and paint it, but yeah. Doesn't really matter, does it? Well, I'll go and find a sump. I think because I've got this out, I might as well put some splodge on here, eh? Like that. It's like ice in a cake. Isn't it? I'll probably do that. Do that up. It's lovely. Right, go and find my sump. So the sump's all lovely and shiny, clean. Well, inside anyway, after and I'll do the outside with a wire brush once it's all sealed up, so no crap goes inside the engine and whatever. Go in there like that, and hopefully got all holes in line. Now, one thing I haven't done yet is clean them bolts, so I'm going to clean them buggers. Right, cleaned all the bolts. I do the heads when we get the rotary wire brush on. That one's missing a washer. I'm going to leave them off until I find a washer for them. Front one, isn't it? Back one, sorry. Right, now I need to find a washer for that one, which I've got over here. Move that a bit, eh? Like that. No, hopefully I haven't lost any bolts. We had some real tight buggers when we were taking off, I remember. But I don't think I broke any, but they're on here somewhere. Some blade where? Now, where are you? Yeah. Well, I do appear to have lost some bolts. I don't know, I did that because they're all on here. Unless, hang on a minute. There's 1, 2, 3. They were hiding. Marvellous. Right. Right in, right in. I might just rattle them down. Half-inch socket. Where are you? No. There'll be somewhere, that's for sure. There is. Right there. Make sure they've all started. That one's not started. Where's that one? Why is that not started? Don't know what's going on there. Right, now we'll finish off with a ratchet. I could torque these down, they're only, I think 5/16 will be probably 18 to 20 pound per foot, but I'll just do them like that, I think. Bit of squish, bit of sealant squishing out, which is nice. It's nice that this one's got all its bolts. The last one I did, I had to get some long metric bolts and redo the threads on them. So I got some extra long ones and put the 5/16 thread on it. That's that. That is that. Let's go down this side one more time. Lovely. That's the sump one. Now we can put the basket in. I've got to clean that surface. I should have done it first. Never mind. I'll put a bit of rag in there, I think. A little bit of clean. So I've just got a strainer in there. Just going to nip them little buggers up. There's someone had been in here before to that at least, but they've not taken the sump off because the sump was absolutely full of sludge and slime. And these nuts are the right three, so they're 5/16 UNF, but they're not half-inch socket, they're 13mm, so I have to get 13mm because it don't fit very good, it's a bit doit. I don't know what's gone on there, whether someone had just re-threaded these, probably I guess. Now that's all sealed up, I better get the rotary wire brush on everything and give it a good old going over. Like that, and that is on. And lovely. I'm going to go and turn my compressor off because I've had it running all day. It shuts itself down but the dryer's still going, so I'm just going to turn it off. So that's pretty much all the bottom end done. I've just given that a rotary wire brush off, so it's all nice and ready for a bit of primer. A couple more bits to get out, but we'll do that another day. And then probably tomorrow I shall get the tractor outside, the chassis part of it, and give it a bloody good water blast off, degrease, and attack that front bearing on it. Then I can do the spigot bearing, then this can go on a couple of blocks of wood, and I can chuck on the flywheel and the clutch assembly, all that sort of malarkey. Then this is ready to bolt back on the tractor once that's all clean anyway, so once that's all sparkly clean, this can go back on, and I could whack the head on and just see if it would go, or I could just wait and assemble it. It should be mint now. I mean, it feels lovely when you turn it over. Feels beautiful. You can tell it's got nice new rings and nice new liners anyway. and of course the head's done, so the head's all ready to go as well. But the way I normally pull these out with the head off, because I've got something I bolt onto my little contraption I bolt onto the stud holes, and it makes it easy to get it in and outable sort of thing. So that's the plan. That'll do for today.